25 Goals of the Illuminati. I'm on a webpage called waronu.com. Here's the link. They have 25 of the goals of the Illuminati, and I thought I'd read you the list because I was watching a video with Ted Gunderson, Chip Tatum, Taylor Bryce, and one other lady, and they were talking about what they knew about the government corruption, trafficking in children for a variety of purposes, various forms of slavery, always against the wishes of the enslaved person, always without the knowledge of the parents. When I heard the credentials of Ted Gunderson, former FBI chief, I was astounded by the credibility that he brings to this body of testimony. I had done a video series on Andy Sparrow, and he wrote of the torture that he experienced as they split his mind and used him for assassinations. And they took him at the age of 2, against his will and without the knowledge or consent of his parents. They raped his mother in front of him at age 7 and held a gun to his father's head and forced him to watch. His father cried afterwards. They tried to kill Andy Sparrow many times. And if you read this book, or let me read it to you on this channel, you'll be changed forever as I was. This information must get out to everyone, and you are the key. If you are interested in this subject of child trafficking and sexual abuse of children like Bryce Taylor, you must learn about it and tell others. We have the chance now to disseminate this information, but the window of opportunity is closing. When I read this list of goals of the Illuminati, you will see that they have accomplished almost all of them. And the last nail is being nailed into our coffin. If you're ever going to get out of this coffin, you must act now. Bryce Taylor was passed around Hollywood and political circles at an illegal age, and if not for an accident she had, she might never have recalled what they did to her. She tells of Bob Hope owning her and using her for his own sexual pleasure. She tells of the Jacksons being raped by men. You must know her story and tell 10 others every day, and maybe we can bring about the changes that we need. But if you want to pick up a gun and go after those you think are guilty, you're more likely to get yourself killed. We must inform others and fight with words and ideas, because the more people know about this, the more difficult it will be for them to control us. They control us because people don't know. Now here's the list. The 25 Illuminati goals. They start out with a presumption that all men are more easily inclined toward evil than good. They preach liberalism, number 2. They use the idea of freedom to bring about class wars, is number 3. Number 4 is any and all means should be used to reach the Illuminati goals as they are justified. Number 5, the right to lie in force. Number 6, the power of our resources must remain invisible until the very moment it has gained the strength that no cunning or force can undermine it. Now I'll stop here for a minute and say this. I put on a Southern accent and pretend that I'm the Illuminati, and I write a script exposing their secrets because of number 6. They want to remain invisible. I put a face on them, and some of you don't understand what I'm doing, and you write me nasty comments. Please understand that they want to remain invisible, and I want to put the spotlight on them, and that's why I speak for the Illuminati. I tell you it's fiction, and you don't realize what you hear is fiction. I created this character, this good old boy from the South. I speak with a fake Southern accent, even though I was born in Atlanta. I was raised in the North. I don't have a Southern accent, but I heard that accent all my life, and so it's a little bit familiar to me. It's easier than doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger accent. I'm not very good with the German accent, and people tell me. We all have to become aware of what the Illuminati does, and if some people can't see a face, they don't believe it exists. They think it's a ghost. So I put a face on it, and I spoiled their number 6 to remain invisible. Let's continue with the list. Number 7, the advocation of mob psychology to control the masses. They all want us thinking the same way. They don't want anybody to step out of line. In Japan, they have some kind of expression that says, if a nail sticks up, it's going to get hammered down. Well, I'm the nail that sticks up, and I want you to be also. I want you to speak loudly when you're in line, and let everybody in line know what the government does. Because when it comes to children, human beings are very protective. And if you hear that someone is eating your children, or killing them, or torturing them, or using hypnosis on them, it sort of arouses instincts to protect those children. So say the name Bryce Taylor loudly and tell what happened to her. Say the name Andy Perro loudly so that people can know what they did to him. There are many other interesting whistleblowers who have come forward. They have a very interesting story, and you can use each of those stories to disseminate this information so that people become aware. Number 8, these dirty bastards use alcohol, drugs, corruptions, and all forms of vice to systematically corrupt the youth of our nation. Now, does that make you angry? If it don't, they ain't human. Number 9, seize property by any means. This is why they created the IRS. This is why they seize so much property. This is why the federal government owns more than half of California and Nevada, 86% of Nevada. I've told the exact percentages in my videos, the early ones. You can look it up too. How much land does the federal government own in each state? It's staggering how much they take for themselves. They claim the right to all water underground. It's theirs, not yours. Who is the government? It's supposed to be us. Number 10, use slogans such as equity, liberty, fraternity, delivered into the mouths of the masses in psychological warfare. Don't ever utter their phrases. Their phrases are conspiracy theorist, nut job, nutcase, wacko, whacked out. These are all their terms. When you hear someone spouting these, tell them those are Illuminati terms. You're working for the Illuminati. See if you can wake them up. See if you can set off the alarms to wake them from their slumber. They have corralled us with the fear of being a conspiracy theorist. This is a conspiracy, and if you don't theorize it, you're going to be buried alive in that coffin. The last nail is being pounded into that coffin. Number 11, war should be directed so that the nations on both sides are placed further in debt, and peace conferences conducted so that neither combatant obtains territory rights. Wars are for the Illuminati. Never back a war of any kind, except the war of words against the people who are putting that last nail into your coffin. Number 12, members must use their wealth to have candidates chosen and placed in public office who will be obedient to their demands and will be used as pawns in the game by those behind the scenes. Their advisors will have been reared and trained from childhood to rule the affairs of the world. We need to do away with representative government because each of those representatives has been compromised. They don't represent us anymore, so why do we need them? We need to decentralize the power. Instead of one federal government, we need 50 separate countries. The country of Arizona, the country of California, the country of Texas, New Mexico, Kansas, Oklahoma. And then we just have one governor. And we move to deliver the power away from the governor into the counties. And each county become its own country. And that's where I see peace and prosperity in the world. Break up every nation so that no dictator has any real power. Imagine a dictator of Oklahoma. How far could he go? When you put all this power into the hands of Obama, he'll be using drones and your own military against you. You know, you pull up a gun against that kind of force, you're going to get your ass blown away. My God, I said a bad word. Ah, shit, I said bastard before that, so it doesn't matter anymore. See, this really makes me mad. Number 13, control the press. Do you think the press is controlled today? You never get the truth from our press. The only time you get any truth is when somebody goes to jail. Bradley Manning, Julian Assange, risking their freedom in order to bring you the truth and wake you up from your slumber. And the subliminal messages are for you to hate those people, call them names, and to think of our leaders as patriots. They are not patriots. They are traitors. Control the press. Number 14, agents will come forward after fermenting traumatic situations and appear to be the saviors of the masses. Boy, have we been played by that routine? They play us like a piano every time. Number 15, create industrial depression and financial panic, unemployment, hunger, shortage of food, and use this to control the masses or the mobs. And then use the mobs to wipe out all those who stand in the way. Hey, that's what's happening today. The latest Obama executive order says that he controls everything. That's a dictatorship. And Ted Gunderson said it, and he's a hero. Number 16, infiltrate into the secret Freemasons to use them for Illuminati purposes. 17, expound the value of systematic deception. Use high-sounding slogans and phrases and advocate lavish promises to the masses, even though they cannot be kept. That sounds like a presidential platform, doesn't it? Lies. Look at the names they put on laws. The Patriot Act. That act is anything but patriotic. Enslavement Act is what it should be. How about the Health Care Control Bill? This is direct access to your veins. It sounds so benign, the health care bill. They want control of all of your medicines, and they want to be able to put whatever they want into your vaccines to control you. And the technology they're coming up with today would allow them to turn every single one of us into slaves. We must get away from all government agencies. Cancel all of them, because every single one of them is corrupt all the way to the core. Number 18. Detail plans for resolutions. Discuss the art of street fighting, which is necessary to bring the population into speedy subjection. What was the first thing Obama wanted to do when he got into the presidency? He wanted a civilian army. Does that fit number 18? It fits like a good suit. It fits better than O.J. Simpson's glove. If it don't fit, you must acquit. That glove fit. He should have gotten an Academy Award. Fortunately, he's in Nevada prison until 2017 at the earliest. That's where he belongs. Let's move on. 19. Use agents as advisors behind the scenes after wars and use secret diplomacy to gain control. What do you think they did in Iraq? Third largest oil deposits in the world. What do you think they did? When they pull out troops, do you think they left behind a puppet president? Do you think they left behind controls? If you don't, your alarm clock didn't go off and you're still sleeping. Hello? Number 20. Establish huge monopolies that lean toward government control. That's why I say break up the power, smash the power into little tiny pieces so that nobody gets much of it. Because it's the power that corrupts these people. Break up the power. We don't need a federal government anymore. We need 50 states to start with. 50 separate countries, former states. 50 new countries in place of the United States. Get rid of the federal government and all the bureaucracy and all the taxation and all the costs. Get rid of the Federal Reserve. We don't need it. Get rid of the IRS. We don't need a tax on our income. Number 21, use high taxes and unfair competition to bring about economic ruin by control of raw materials. Organize agitation among the workers and subsidize their competitors. Number 22, build up armaments with police forces and soldiers sufficient to protect our needs. Who do the police work for? Did you ever see them punch one of us in the face in Zuccotti Park? Did you ever see them punch anybody from Wall Street in the face? They wouldn't dare. Police should be tipped off. They're working for the Illuminati. Soldiers should be tipped off. I think they already are. Most of them want Ron Paul. They know what's going on. Do you know that more soldiers die by suicide than in battle? That's because they know what's going on, they don't approve, and they don't feel there's a way out. Well, there is a way out, folks. Tell everybody. If I was a soldier, I'd tell 10 soldiers every day. They would court-martial me. I'd be in a prison cell next to Bradley Manning. Tell 10 every day. That's what Ted Gunderson recommends, that you tell people every day. He told people, and now he's gone. And in the name of Ted Gunderson, I want you to pick up the decathlon that has fallen to the ground and carry it for him. Carry it for yourself. Carry it for the sake of our species. This is the most important battle of your life. Talk to the police. Get your video camera and interview them. If you're a nice-looking girl with a camera, those dirty, filthy cops will talk to you. Offer to buy them a donut. Number 23. Members and leaders of the one world government would be appointed by the directors. Do we have right now a United Nations that's telling our Congress what to do? Some of those in Congress feel that the power is slipping away from them and they don't like it. And Leon Panetta seems to be hypnotized and on the side of the Illuminati. We need to cancel his department. We don't need this kind of help anymore. Why should we pay our tax dollars to support government agencies that work against us? Cut off the funding by canceling the federal government. Every state should vote for secession from the Union. Number 24, infiltrate into all classes and levels of society and government for the purpose of fooling, bemusing, and corrupting the youthful members of society by teaching them theories and principles that we know to be false. Sounds like a college textbook to me. They have the advanced technology, and we get the old textbooks. Number 25, this is the last one. National and international laws should be used to destroy civilization and enslave and control the people. Thanks for listening.